Hi, g'day folks. Alright, we're back with a little flight test on that plane we just designed. I have made a couple of small alterations to it. For one, the rear landing gear was a bit too far back, so it had trouble rotating on takeoff, so I've moved that forward a bit, and because that made the wheelbase very short, I did rotate the front wheel, as I mentioned, on mic during the design, and you might see here, I've also added a couple of RPM cameras, just to make things look a little bit better when we're in the IVA. So you can see we've got a forward and rear camera there, and I've got the enhanced RVA display here, so I've got a, what is that, a G meter and an airspeed, airspeed indicator, that one. There's a little altimeter down here, but that's a little hard to read, and I wish the vertical speed indicator was illuminated, but that's what we've got, unfortunately. One of the nice things with this mod is what it does do, if I could find them, there we are, is it adds action group buttons, which actually do work. So that should turn my engine on. Let's pop out and have a look. Yep, engine's firing away. Going to throttle up, put the SAS on, and in a second or so, should start trying to push the plane off the brakes. It's only got the two little wheel brakes there, so the turbojet will overpower that fairly easily. And there we go, so let's take them off. You can see my air brakes lower down with them. Yep. Do the takeoff from the outside because I just want to have a look at it to make sure the tail's okay. So you need to get up to about 0.35 for takeoff, which we should be able to do fairly easily. There we go, and up we go. All smooth. Minor stall, but up we go in trouble. Let's see if this thing can do a vertical loop straight off takeoff. 5 Gs, wings are strong enough, you should be able to handle that easily. You don't really need to worry until you start pushing 10 or 15. Yep, we're going over the top, nice and smooth. This is also a good test of roll stability. If it's got a bit of roll wiggle, it'll probably happen here. There we go, 10 Gs. And let's have a look and see how good the roll authority is. Yeah, it's not bad. It's quick, but it's not overwhelming. What shall we do with it? Out to the mountains or buzz the tower? I think the mountains might take a bit too long. So instead, let's try this. Let's have a look at how fast we can flip over. Get around very quickly doing this and you pick up a lot of speed, but it's also a good way to slam into the ground if you get it wrong. So yeah, 10 Gs. You can notice the atmospheric pressure is getting a bit intense as well, which is making things bumpy. And possibly I just tore a wing off. Let's have a look outside. Yes, we did. Okay, we've just discovered the G limits of this ship. So that is one of the difficulties with what broke first? Yeah, just the wings. Then the fuselage cracked up. Everything smashed. One of the problems with flying IVA is it's a bit harder to monitor your G levels and things. So let's do that again, but I'll do it from the outside view this time, so we can see what's going on. But there we are, good to go. SAS. No. I always hate having to wait for everything to boot up, but there we are. SAS on. Power up. Won't bother spooling up the engine on the brakes, this thing's quick enough that you don't really need to wait around for that. I'll put it back in. I'll flip the view around from this side, please. We'll be watching a little flip. Over there again. Should turn. Up. Over the top. If you are doing this sort of thing, it's actually often easier to do it earlier rather than later, because if you give a little pause just after takeoff, then you build up enough speed to put yourself in danger of ripping your wings off. Whereas if you do it straight away, nearly all of your energy goes into the climb instead of actually adding airspeed. Okay, pause for a second there. There we are, it's all good. Okay, this time we will go out to the mountains. And what we'll do though, to speed it up, is I'll gain a bit of altitude, and hopefully that should let me fly with a bit of time acceleration on. You can get away with a lot more time acceleration at higher altitudes, because the air's a bit, well, thinner. Whereas, yeah, I'm building a bit of high pressure and I'm about to crack supersonic. But yeah, it's stable enough. It doesn't mind a bit of time accel. You do notice it wobbles a lot more like this than if it was under normal time though. And I've only got it at 2 times up. I wouldn't want to try this at 4 times at this height. The ship is small and agile. You can get away with it more if it's a big, stable, orbital thing. Anyway though, we should be there fairly shortly, and probably hitting about Mach 2 by the time we arrive. Right, 5,000 metres is the top of the nose, so I'm going to pull down to normal time, and with altitude too, go for a run through the mountains there. And you can see if you want to gently pull your vector across, doing it with rudder is a really good way to do it slowly without putting a big disturbance into your flight path, so then you don't lose as much speed and you've got less chance of doing something dreadful. Yeah, it's very controllable. I can just hold it at full rudder and there's no chance of the plane flipping out of control like what if I was holding it at full elevator. So it's something to consider. I'll just take us through my favourite little standard test run through the mountains. You just go in through this wide pass here, then you'll see there's some taller things over the left with some narrow passes that are quite fun to come through. Let's have a look at IVA again. How are we doing inside? Oh, I forgot to set up the view screens. So let's set these up. We've got one camera going forwards, which is telling me I should probably pull off. And another camera looking backwards. 3Gs, doing about Mach 2. Rather high atmospheric pressure, 147 kilopascals is fairly extreme, which is where you can see all these nice little aerodynamic effects happening on my plane. And it's built solid. It's holding together well. Okay, let's just pull it down a bit there, using the rudder again. Tap a bit of elevators as well. I want to come in fairly tight around this bit of mountain. How's it looking inside? Oops. Yeah, go for all that. That's all good. How's it look through the cameras? Dropping about 100 meters a second. Whoa, better pull up. Yeah, that's a bit close. I need to pay attention to where I'm flying. Okay, let's spin. Pull around this way. This is a bit of a high G turn. Be careful doing this one. If you overdo it, it's easy to rip the wings off. Oh, like that. There we go again. Oh well. I need to learn to be more careful. Or if I want to do those sort of aerobatics, maybe I need to wind the wing strength up to 1.25. Oh well, rather than following this through all the way to the end, I think we'll leave poor Embo there. He's still flying happy. Well, happy-ish. So, yeah, see you next time. Bye.